Heyo. Hey, cat next door. Yeah, I see a few people. We're waiting already. I'm just like checking my. Where's this top fan? Teacher. Oh, I see here. Okay. Welcome, welcome. People are just now coming in, so we'll give them a few minutes to get in here. In the meantime, you guys got priority. So if there's anything you want to know before everyone else comes in, you can ask it. there's there's no one else here asking questions yet since I just started a second ago. So if you have any questions, now is the perfect time to get in before it might be hard to get your question depending how many people come here. Welcome, welcome. I see everyone saying hi. Hey there, hey. I recognize a few of those names. I am at a park in Suwon. It's actually a new park. I mean, the park's not new, but it's new to me. I've never been here before. Although it is next to a park that I have been to before, which I really like. So today we're going to be checking out this park. I haven't really gone inside the park area yet. I'm kind of walking around the border. Good morning, good morning. Started learning Korean, actually enjoying it, hated Spanish. Interesting. I never learned much Spanish other than just by living in California. You end up picking it up. There's actually a Korean idiom that's like, if a dog stays in like a study hall for 3 years, they'll end up learning how to recite the I think it's called, I think the English word might be the Buddhist mantra. I'm not sure the exact translation for it. But it's basically, you just spend enough time in an area, you'll eventually kind of pick up some stuff. So, living in California, everyone, can count to 10, knows really, really basic Spanish, but I never really tried to learn it beyond that. Is it hot here? Yes, although right now it's still 10 a.m., so it's not too hot yet, but lately it has been very hot. It did rain though, all last week. Like, ton of rain. So because of that, the weather's not as hot. Oops. Because of that, sorry, there's a button on my thing that switches it between vertical and horizontal. Because of that though, the weather this week now is a bit cooler, but it's still hot. It's in like the mid 80s. So yeah, it's still very hot. But last week, 2 weeks before it started raining, it was very hot. It was up to about 100 on many days, and humid, very humid. Today is also humid. Did you get attacked by the love bugs? I haven't seen any. Duck says the weather over here has been rainy and sunny. This is the park. You know what? I think I lied to all of you. I have seen this park before. I came here one time. As soon as I just walked right here, I looked out in this area and I recognized this building over there. And I realized I have been here before. I don't know if anyone remembers this. In fact, I didn't even remember. But I came here once. I didn't know where I was going. I was following a friend, one of my friends from my early videos over 10 years ago. And I sat right here and we filmed a video about kimbap. So if you search for my old videos, I think it was like 2014, maybe 2015, but I think 14. And I did a video about eating kimbap. I filmed right here. So yeah, I guess I have been here before. I thought I never went here before. Welcome, welcome. Duck says, how often do you visit? Oh, hey, Kyled. I just turned on the stream, like, it shows me 4 minutes ago. So we haven't really done anything yet. We're just kind of walking around this park. How often do I visit? I come here every year. I'm in Korea about 3 months every year. Although some years it's 4. This year it's just a little under 3 months. Hey Cosma, Flo, some other names I recognize. All right, here is this, let me show you from the other side. This kind of auditorium area. Although you can't enter it. Unfortunately, I can't go inside here and do a performance for all you because it's blocked off. It's for musical performances only. So you would have to get, you know, you'd have to be a member of their, you know, outdoor music group in order to do that. But over here, you can see this whole big grassy field area. I remember from over 10 years ago when I went here that this is where people come to have picnics. So especially if they have performances here, it's basically like this is basically like Korea's Hollywood Bowl. It's Korea's Hollywood Bowl. If anyone knows the Hollywood Bowl, what it looks like, it's kind of like that. It's like a small Hollywood Bowl with a picnic area out here, and you can come in here for free and just listen to music. So if you come here when the weather's not so humid, like today it's really humid and it's going to be hot later, then you'll see lots of families with picnic blankets out here eating food and stuff like that. That's at least as I remember it from 10 years ago, and I'm sure it's still the same. It looks the same. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a picnic right here? Like, come on. All right, we're gonna keep walking around here. My goodness, see, this weather is kind of, it's a little bit strange. So it's gone from overcast to very sunny. You can now you can kind of see the shadow line. I don't know what all those things, those weird things in the sky are. Wow, I've never seen that before. Are those clouds? Anyway, oh, now it's overcast again. Okay, kind of. Trying to stay out of the direct sun because it's going to be really hot. Okay, let me check some comments. How have you been doing these days? I heard there's a region in South Korea that's been hit by a torrential rain. Yes, that's Gwangju. You're correct. Gwangju got a lot of rain. It's some music coming out of that speaker. It flooded in a lot of the areas over there. I've never actually been to Gwangju though before. Have to go there someday. But yeah, Gwangju got lots of rain. I wish I could say it was like the worst rain ever, but every year now it's the worst weather ever. So this year too is, and anyone in Korea will tell you this year too is the hottest summer ever. And it feels like it too. This is much hotter than it was last year. I mean, I should know, I come here every year. Are these cicadas? Yes, these are cicadas. Or cicadas, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to say them. Memi is the Korean word, memi. Yes. Whew. I went to Gwangju in 2018 for, is that League of Legends? Oh, hey Jason. Okay, let me see if I missed any other comments. Have you ever seen Suwon from Seraphim in person? Oh yeah, Suwon, yeah. She and I we're best buds. We just hung out like last week. It was actually together with Jimin from BTS and Lisa from Blackpink, I believe, and we all got, we got drinks together. It was fun. And the funny thing is, on our way home, we're like walking home, and who do we bump into? You'll never guess. The main star of Squid Game. It was just insane, and we're all like laughing and having drinks, and yeah, it was a great time. No, I don't think I've ever seen a celebrity before in my entire life in Korea. At least I wouldn't recognize them if I did. But I have seen, I've seen like famous people, but I never know who they are really, because I don't watch dramas or movies very much. So I think with a few exceptions, you could have like any famous celebrity like standing right in front of you and looking directly into my eyes, being like, Billy, 내가 누구냐? Who am I? And I'd be like, I can't tell you, I'm sorry. Hyunwoo was supposed to come later, but yeah, he was late. He didn't get to make it, so unfortunately, he won't be able to corroborate my story. You'll just have to trust me, bro. Okay, now we've got some more stuff to look at over here. Yeah, but I do now remember I have been here before, but I didn't look around. I was here to film a video, and I didn't really feature the park very much. This is something for the Korean War, I assume, because it says 전쟁, war. Over there is 희생. You can't see it yet, but it says 희생, just trust me, bro. 희생, sacrifice. And then at the very end, it says 평화, peace. What is this? What is this? Oh yeah, it's definitely Korean War stuff because that's 1950. There you go. Um, yes. Oh, this is for the Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, yeah. That's for the Korean War stuff. I think these are like Korean War monuments. That's kind of cool. So this is like an area that has a bunch of Korean War monuments. I see some stuff over. Actually, you know what? Before I go down there, I'm gonna go over here. I don't want to just pass these by because I don't think I'm gonna be coming back here. Some statues over there. I'm gonna go take a look at that. Just read some more comments. Okay, let me see if I miss any comments. Daniel Russell says, I want to visit Korea again. I love the country and culture. Yes, you should definitely come visit here more than once. Every time you come here, you're going to have a better time. I enjoy my trip to Korea more now, even than I did a few years ago and before that, just because I'm able to do so many more things than I could. Like, I didn't even know all the stuff I could do here until I did all the stuff I could do here. And then you realize, oh no, there's still like so much more stuff you can do. Hey Noah. Noah Deeps. Like those cicadas. If you'd never seen the cicadas in Korea, they're like gigantic. They're like really big. Oh, this is nice. Okay, there's like a little pond over here. Yamok Sauce says, I miss Korea. I went 2 months ago. Oh, nice. Then you were here before it got really hot. Although actually, to be fair, it was pretty warm. I also came here in May, like the middle of May, and it was already kind of warm. And yeah, like I said, this has been the hottest summer ever. Not an exaggeration, but actually, it's just worse and worse every year during the summer. If you can avoid it, please do not come here during any time from the end of June all the way until like the end of September, if you can avoid it. If you can't avoid it, it's not to say you can't enjoy a trip to Korea during the summertime, but yeah, you're not gonna have any fun. Don't go outside. I mean, no, it's okay, especially if you're from like the East Coast or if you're from a country that's normally humid and you're kind of used to the humidity, then all you have to do is avoid the heat, which you can do by not being outside for too long. Wearing sunblock, wearing a hat, maybe a shirt with a checkered pattern, putting on sunblock, stuff like that can help you. See, it's all for a purpose. Okay, let me see some more comments. I don't want to miss too much stuff. Flo says, we're going for the 3rd time next year. Nice. It's great to hear you're going back again. What are your plans for the 3rd time now that you've already been twice? And Korea with Kids says, Gwangju was the first place I lived in Korea. Back then, 1992, they were still having student demonstrations with riot police and tear gas. That's right. I got to experience what tear gas feels like from about a block over. Yeah, Gwangju is very famous for that, for good reason. And I'm not the best person to ask about politics in Korea because I'm pretty dumb when it comes to Korean politics. I only know like what I can read online from articles and like what my friends tell me and what I hear. So yeah, but definitely that they are very sensitive to that sort of thing because they've had some serious problems where the government has gone in and caused a serious problem. I'll say that. I'll side with them on that. I don't think that's too controversial. But yeah, because of that, they're very sensitive to that sort of stuff. And Gwangju is kind of famous for like demonstrations, especially. Okay, let's see. There are trees on the rooftop of the building behind you. You might be right, but I don't see which building you're talking about. I didn't see it. I must have missed it. I'll look again. Polygon said, I haven't studied for 5 days and I feel my motivation's going away, but I'm disciplined at least to keep going. Nice! I'll give you a tip for that. If you feel like it's hard to stay motivated, decrease the amount of time you do it, just so that you can say you did it. Because I feel like it's all a mental game, and if you can at least tell yourself, I'm still doing it, I just slowed down because, you know, I'm doing my best, but right now my best is not my best from the other, like 5 days ago. But keep doing it. I think then when you feel like you're ready again, you kind of remember why you're learning. That'll help you to keep going without having to like restart stuff. So I would just say decrease the amount of time you're doing it. It's better to just do something really than to not do anything. Korea with Kids says they love naengmyeon, and Cat Next Door asks about naengmyeon. I like it, but okay, so Cat Next Door, you may have tried the wrong kind of naengmyeon, or I should say, not the wrong kind, but the wrong kind from what you're referring to. You're talking about hamang naengmyeon. Hamang naengmyeon naengmyeon is from North Korea. Just so you know, it's a North Korean food. But until about 10 years ago, if you asked for naengmyeon, the only kind you would find in South Korea would be hamang naengmyeon, which is cool, refreshing, served with ice. It's served cold with like chopped thin, cool vegetables, maybe like half of an egg. It's not meant to be spicy. You put vinegar and mustard sauce in it. It's like it's not mustard it's not like ketchup mustard, but it's like mustard powder, mustard sauce kind of. And it is really refreshing. However, since 10 years ago, Pyongyang naengmyeon has become more popular, and in fact now it's hard to find hamang naengmyeon unless you specifically go to like a naengmyeon restaurant. Most restaurants now that sell naengmyeon, I think usually it means they're going to be getting Pyongyang naengmyeon, which is the kind that's served warm. It doesn't have a strong flavor. It's very light, kind of like a meat, like a beef broth with little slices of meat in it. That's Pyongyang naengmyeon. Now, I like both of it. It did have ice in it. Then, was it sweet? It should be kind of sweet and vinegary. If it's not, then it's Pyongyang naengmyeon. Now, I like both. I don't know which one I prefer, but I do appreciate both of them, and they're very different. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not missing too many comments. Mary Mochi says, I should have been in bed already, but now I want to watch this. Well, you're going to be up for another hour and a half. I can't stream too long today because I promised my friend Suwon. You've seen her in some videos before. We also filmed some more videos while I was here in Korea with her. I'm going to be hanging out with her and my wife and my kid tonight for dinner. So I'm not going to do this live stream too long, otherwise I might miss that appointment because I got to get back. I have to get ready. I have to pack. This week, I'm going to be leaving Korea. Forever, it feels like. No, I'll be back next year in May, but this year I'm going to be leaving this week. So I have to pack. This is the last time I'll be putting on this hat and shirt until I restart the live classes, which will restart. I'll say, I think it's August 4th. I have the day on the Google document, which you can find on my channel. The live classes are going to restart in a couple weeks. But yeah, until then, I'm going to be going back to the US, hopefully recovering from my jet lag in sometime within 2 weeks before that starts. It usually takes me a long time. And then, yeah, we'll be doing this again. But I won't be wearing these clothes again for at least a couple weeks. Okay, let's see. Where in Korea are you? Oh, you're in Dongducheon. Okay, yeah, like Dongducheon is there's some cool things in there. There's like a what's the word? It's like a playground, like an indoor, really cool playground for kids there. I know because my kid told me about it and wants to go there. But what I know in Dongducheon, and I've been there a couple times, is they have the Japanese village there, which is technically branded as a photography studio. It's kind of weird. It's just like a little Japanese village for tourists to go and, you can like rent kimono and stuff like that and take photos and walk around and eat some little Japanese snacks. It's kind of like Japanese vibes. Sometimes they have performers. Hopefully the jet lag doesn't get you. It always does. I have tips for avoiding jet lag, but you can't get rid of it completely. When you go east, it kills you. Especially for as much as the trip is just 11 hours. And the time difference is like 15 or 16 hours, depending on daylight savings time. And there isn't anything you can do about that because it's the wrong direction for your body. So I do my best to reduce it, but you can't completely eliminate it. Are these cicadas? They're going crazy, you say. This is what they normally sound like. Is this for UN? Or is this for... I can't tell. I can't see like a symbol on their uniform that would indicate what country it's meant to represent. But anyway, this is, or if it's supposed to be Korean. I actually don't know. Oh, there's a little plaque. Maybe I could find that, read that, and find out what it's for. Oh, it's for the Hunchung, anyway, I'll just say Korean War. Okay, it's just for soldiers. Cool. I'm like, you should totally hire me for your next history tour, your Korean history tour. I'll be like, this is a statue for something important. Looks cool. And then, all right, class, let's go to the next spot. I have something else to show you. That'll be the tour for 3 hours. Am I at the War Museum? No, it's not a war museum. It's just a public park, but it has some monuments in here for the Korean War. I have good news. The routine you gave me. Oh, hey. Yeah, that's right. I gave you a routine. I didn't do it every day, like 2 days a week. That's fine. That's fine. Does it help to stay up until it's nighttime where you arrive? Yes, definitely. So if you are adjusting to jet lag, really quick summary, you want to eat at the regular intervals that you would normally eat in when you're back in your country. Like you pretend that you never left and you try to force yourself to eat. Now don't get sick, but like if you normally would have like a tiny breakfast, then eat a tiny breakfast. If you normally would have a big lunch, try to eat a full lunch. Adjust what food you're eating so your stomach can handle it. You know, you don't want to give yourself like tons of greasy or spicy stuff. Have something kind of light. I usually do like sandwiches on the first day, something like that, because it's pretty easy. Or you can do like a salad. Don't do like tons and tons of beef or fast food or, you know, a bunch of sugar and stuff like that. Anyway, and then copy whatever you do for your eating schedule. And then that night, do not sleep until semi close to your regular bedtime. Like if you would normally go to bed at, say, midnight, you're not going to be able to stay up to midnight. It's gonna really be hard. But try to stay up till like, say, 9 or 10. And then it's not gonna fix it the first day. But you do that for 3 days, it'll mostly fix the bad jet lag problems, like feeling just terrible the whole day. Now, the symptoms of jet lag though, where you still feel a little bit tired during the day, like you want to sleep, and feeling kind of hungry later, like after when it's your bedtime, that can go for like 2 weeks. It was so good to meet. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll do another meetup next year as well. I also, if you remember, we filmed a video there. I'll be posting that after a few months. I still have to finish the current free course that I have on my channel. If you haven't watched that yet, that's the Sentence Connectors course. That one's still ongoing. Once that is finished, I'm going to start posting the videos that I filmed in Korea. Raymond says, first thing I ate when I got to Korea was gopchang. Oh yeah, that's very, very heavy. I can imagine you suffered for a little bit after having that. Cool. I'm gonna check out this one. This is definitely not a tourist spot. You can tell because none of the signs are in English. That's how you can always tell if this is a place that expects tourists. Not just tourists from the US or English speaking, but just any tourists at all. Cool. It's just a little poem for the people who devoted themselves to the country, that sort of thing. First time I ate Korean food was in 2017. Fire chicken noodles. What's that? I know what you're talking about. 불닭볶음면. 불닭볶음면. I was like, I've never heard that English translation before. Is this the park near Namsan? No, it's not near Namsan. This is actually in Suwon. I generally wonder if I could get, hold on, let me switch the camera. If I would get super jet lagged, yeah, you would. Because if you come to, when you fly west, it's easier for your body to adjust, unless it's really long, because especially from the US to Korea, it basically feels like you just you're changing your sleep schedule from falling asleep at 10 to falling asleep at like 3 or 5 in the morning, which is, you know, you could do it. It's kind of annoying. You feel tired for a few days, but you're okay. It's not a big deal. It doesn't mess you up, right? That sort of change. The problem is trying to go back to your regular schedule is what messes you up, because if you stay up a little bit later, your body's just tired. But you get used to it. You're like, oh, I'm a little tired. Okay. The problem though is when you're tired when you're not supposed to be, which is going the opposite direction. So when you fly east, that's what happens to your body. So when you go from Korea back to the US, that's when it really hurts, because your body's like, I'm not tired right now. And then when you are tired, your body's like, hey, wait, I'm supposed to be awake right now, which is the like double annoying. And to fix the part where you're not tired, it takes a long time, because even if you're eating right, even if you're sleeping properly, your body's still tired when it's tired, and it's not tired when it's not tired. So you'll find that when you come back to the US from going to Korea, that it'll be like 2 in the afternoon and you're like exhausted, but you don't sleep. You wait until your bedtime, like a good little kid, and you sleep at 10, and you wake up at 3, and your body's like, I'm fine, because it thinks you just took a nap, because it still thinks you're in the other country and you just took a nap and it's not your bedtime yet. So you'll be like, okay, well, whatever, I'll wake up. You stay awake, and then around like 10 in the morning, or 8 to 10 in the morning, now that's when your brain would normally go to sleep back in the other country, and you're like, oh, I'm really tired now, or especially again throughout the day. So it's like you're fighting this fatigue the whole time. Billy loves him some Suwon. I like Suwon, yes. That's the real reason I like Suwon, is because it's less busy than Seoul. It's I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, it's much less busy than Seoul, and it is close to where I live. And Suwon actually has, in my opinion, more good restaurants. I don't mean like better restaurants, but I mean more good restaurants. It's not the word I want to say. A higher percentage of the restaurants in Suwon are good than in Seoul. Seoul has the benefit of getting so much traffic, so much foot traffic, that even if your restaurant's not that good, you're still going to get plenty of business. You can still survive as a business owner with a mediocre restaurant in Seoul. That's not going to happen here in Suwon. If your food's not off the charts, you're closing in like 2 years. Oh, I'm not going to bother this cat. Let me show you. It's a street cat. So that's what's going on. I've just had jet lag for years. You might have depression, or you might not be sleeping properly. You might have sleep apnea. Maybe get that checked out by a doctor. Meanwhile, we're just kind of chilling with this cat. Go Karen says, I'm a slow learner, so I trace back over your videos. At what stage is it a good time to join your live course? My live course, I can't zoom out now. The cat took over my zoom. I wasn't able to zoom back out. The live streams don't have a specific level for most of them, but if there is, it's always going to say in the title, like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and that's the level that the class will be made for. But I'll always tell you during the live stream if it's something that you shouldn't be there as a beginner for. And most of them, I still say it's okay. Like even a lot of the advanced courses, I still say, if you're a beginner, feel free to take notes, even if you can't use it. And I try to explain everything so that any level can understand it. I have to like duck down to go under these stairs. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't think this is where I'm supposed to go, but I'm going here anyway. Duck down. Okay. My experience with spicy food before going to Korea was local Mexican restaurants and Tabasco sauce. You're gonna be fine if you're okay with Mexican food. Oh, okay, it just goes right back up here. Well, that was anticlimactic. That looks so pretty. I love it when ivy and other plants start covering buildings. That's something that I notice a lot in Korea, is that as long as the ivy looks pretty, buildings tend to keep it. Whereas I know, did I just feel a raindrop? I know a lot of times when you see like ivy going over buildings, it's when they like rip it all down, but it's really common to see here in Korea. I think buildings kind of like it. It gives it some character. Yeah, I feel like I felt some raindrops. Is it? Oh, I see rain now. Uh-oh. It better not rain. I didn't bring an umbrella because the weather forecast said no rain today. Okay. Most Korean food isn't really that spicy, although I'm a spice head. Yeah, most Korean food, most. Okay, now it's actually raining. You guys can't see this. I can see it. It's legitimately sprinkling right now. So I don't think I would call it's not like heavy rain, but it's legitimately sprinkling. Hopefully this doesn't continue. Otherwise I'll have to go somewhere quickly inside. I don't see anywhere I can hide inside. Yeah, Korean food though isn't really spicy, with some exceptions. I would say jukumi is fried baby squid, and they marinate it in lots of gochujang, lots of hot peppers. Because they use such a large amount of hot peppers for it, I can't go this way. It actually gets really spicy. The same with brudak. Not so much brudak 볶음면. I think that's like a little bit overrated. It's not too spicy for me. But actual brudak, oh wow, now it's like really sprinkling. Now it's like really almost raining. Regular brudak is the same. It's marinated in that. It's really spicy. And there are a couple foods here and there that are legitimately spicy, but I'd say the majority are not. You can see the rain now? Oh no, yeah, I can definitely see it. I think I need to get some shelter or something. My camera's getting wet right now. Oh no. What do I do? It's actually raining now. And it's ridiculously humid, and it's still hot. This is disgusting. What's going on? I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just walking back and forth, trying to find, oh, I see a shelter area. Okay, I'm gonna try going over there. Don't go that way, the cicadas will get you. Yeah, the pavilion I filmed up before is actually kind of far from where I am right now because I've been walking this whole time. Oh, it's still raining. Is this water okay to drink? Oh no, it's like legitimately raining. Oh no, maybe you can hear it now. Okay, great. Go Karen! Thank you for your course. Hold on, I'm catching my breath. Thank you for your course generosity. Oh, now it's slowed down a bit, but it's still like legitimately raining. If I put my hand out, it's getting wet. Oh. Okay. Is it currently the Changma season? No, it's not. Changma was, actually, we didn't get one. It was Changma officially several weeks ago, and it rained like, at least in Suwon, it rained like once. And then it was over. See, my face is still like wet. But then as of last week, it was just non-stop raining. So it's like we got a second one. Although it's not really we got a second one. Really what happens is the Changma season is It does normally rain twice in Korea, but the first time it's supposed to rain, it didn't rain. And this second time would normally be the typhoon season, but we haven't gotten any of that. Instead, we just get lots of rain. But yeah, right now would normally be typhoon season or hurricane for those of you in the West. Same thing, just different location. Oh. Yeah, I visit Korea each year. Although I could live here if I want, since my wife's Korean, I can easily live here if I want to. But I don't come here for too long because the problem with staying here permanently, besides this weather, which I'm excited to get back to my regular California weather, but besides this weather, I have a decent place. I'd say it's big enough for me to do my work, to film. I have a room where I can do my filming, which you all see when I do my live streams. But if I were to be in Korea, I don't even think I'd be able to have a space for working. It would be a lot harder to do a lot of the things I do normally if I'm in Korea. My workstation, my computer is still in the US. It would just be a big expense. So the initial expense of getting a place big enough in Korea where I would have one room that I could take for doing my work would be extremely high, that it would overdo any savings I would get over the years from living here. However, it would be nice to live here for the sole reason that it would be easy to do collabs with people. But other than that, yeah, I prefer, for my living, I prefer in the US. And there's some other reasons that have to do with education. The system here for, and Koreans would agree with this, if there's any Koreans watching, I don't know, but the education system in Korea, once you start elementary school, not elementary, once you start middle school or junior high, is very, very, very focused on just passing tests and not fun for the kids, stressful for everyone. Basically, it takes away your childhood and says, here, focus on getting into this college. And I don't want to do that to my kid. I don't think that's going to serve him well. So in the education system, I think the US is much better. Especially since I'm in California, which is one of the best. I saw you were at the Talk to Me Korean Creators Conference. Yes. Did you see me there, or did you see me in the post? Okay, I think the rain is stopped. It's now just twice as humid, which is wonderful. Exactly what I wanted. I was just telling you guys, man, Korea's so dry. I wish it was a little more humid, and now it's double humidity. Oh my goodness, this is so gross. It's so humid. But the rain stopped, which is nice. But because it's so humid, even though the rain stopped, even though I've been there for a while, it's still like dripping down my arm. The rain, it's not even evaporating yet. I've watched videos of Koreans talking about that. Do you mean the education system? I think pretty much everyone acknowledges that. It's not really like my controversial opinion. It's pretty universally understood. It's why a lot of Korean people will move out of Korea. Well, actually, there are various reasons for that, but one of the reasons. I'm in Telluride? What's that? Same latitude, 38 in Seoul. I dream of living in both places. I love Busan. So how long do you get to stay in Korea? I actually just answered that, but I'm here about 3 to 4 months every year. Okay, in Colorado. Tanika, you're asking where I am. I'm in Suwon. And we're exploring this park. There's actually another park right next to here, but I've never been there before. And then there's another park next to that, which I have been before. That I won't be able to go to that second park, to the third park, I mean, to show you today because it's too big. It would be a whole nother live stream to show you that third park. But the second park, maybe I can walk over there because I think I finished. I'm going to go around this way. I think I finished showing you this park, so I'm going to try to go to the second one. Are there sunflowers there in Korea? Yeah, but it's not a common thing. I'm trying to think, where can you see sunflowers? I know in, I think that's Jeju. Yeah, in Jeju Island, there's this gigantic sunflower field. But other than that, they're not, it's not like a common flower you're gonna see. What is really common though, and you might even like this, is suguk, the hydras. Hydrogen, I can't pronounce the actual name, but if you know the flower, they're really pretty. It looks like it's just like a sponge, like this giant ball flower that are like bright blue or purple. If you search Hydra flower or something, you'll probably find it. But then, yeah, hydrangea, yeah, that thing. Those are a lot of places in Korea. Those are pretty happy to be in Korea, so you'll find them a lot. It's not like they grow wild, but people plant them all the time. So yeah, if you like those, they are all over Korea. Just not here and not right now. I live in the US and I've always wanted to see sunflowers and those, yeah, hydras. I'll just call them hydras. Okay, I'm gonna be walking down this street here so we can go to the second park. Just kind of give you a tour of what it'll look like if you're walking in Korea. They're very popular in Dutch gardens. Oh, cool. Yeah, and you'll see them in other countries too. They're not exclusive to Korea. But I like them. There's a place in Gyeongju with lots of sunflowers. Gyeongju, okay. I've been to, someone's pronouncing hydrangea. Okay, thank you. Hydrangea. I'll try to remember that. Gyeongju, I've been there before, but I've only been to the city area. That was to meet a friend. I've never been to like at least maybe I have. I actually can't remember. I don't think so. I don't think I've been to any of those historical places in Gyeongju, but then maybe I have. You know, I can't remember a lot. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I would like to go to Gyeongju. In fact, my kid, everyone knows my son, he randomly told me last month he wants to go to Gyeongju. And I'm like, that's random. So I searched, and it's about a 4-hour trip to get there from here in Suwon. So I told him we're not going to be going this time. We'll have to get a hotel there. It's not something that I could go there in the morning, hang out there, and come back in the evening, because Gyeongju has a ton of stuff to see, as I've heard. So if we're going to actually do stuff there, more than like visit one place, we're going to have to go there early in the morning, spend the whole day, sleep, spend the next part of the day, and then come back the next night, at least. So we'll have to do some plans, but we would like to do a trip to Gyeongju. Despite having studied Korean for as long as I have, despite knowing many things about Korea, not that much, but relatively, sure, many things, I've never been to a lot of places in Korea. I've never been to Gwangju, I've never been to Gyeongju, I've never been to Gangneung, which is another city. Like, it's kind of like a beachside city on the east, like a northeast area. When did your love for Korea come about? I don't know. I like Korea. Does that mean I love Korea? I guess so. I don't know. Just when you spend enough time and you figure out a place, just like your hometown, right? You kind of spend enough time there and you're like, you get to appreciate the good and the bad, and then you realize there's a little more good than bad, then that's when I think you start to like it. That maybe happened, what did I really like? I guess that would have been right when I went there, I guess. Or maybe the next year after I was in Korea. I don't know. I mean, I liked Korean way longer than I liked Korea, if that makes sense. But I'm not living in a fantasy world for Korea, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't watch Korean dramas and fall in love with Korea. It was just, I experienced Korea like a regular person. And now it's starting to rain again. And now it's totally sprinkling again. This is great. This is exactly what I was expecting when I was planning this live stream. Have you run into the Korean Jesus recruiters? Too many times. Yes, you will meet them. And now it's like fully raining. And there's an umbrella on the other side of the road and it's closed. Why did they close it? Okay, I think I know where I have to go. There's a what do you call an awning? Like an overhang thing on a building that's closed. I think I'm gonna have to walk over there. Is your video lessons notes free? Did you? I think you already commented that. I may have replied on my YouTube channel. Or you sent me a message on Instagram. Someone just messaged me like yesterday asking the same question. Unless you're someone else, check out my live streams. All of them have outlines and worksheets you can get. Okay, now it's like raining even more than before. This is wonderful. And like 4 cars just ran a red light. I swear, 4 cars just ran a red light. Great. That's another fun thing about Korea. I wish it wasn't a fun thing about Korea, but cars do not keep the traffic laws here. That traffic laws are a suggestion for many cars. And you'll find people blow through red lights all the time. It's kind of annoying. I've almost gotten hit several times. Motorcycles and buses. Okay, I'm just gonna stand here for a second while it's raining. There's like a little Mary Mochi says, I just got your book. Nice. Good luck with that, and I'm here if you have questions. Fiore says, maybe it's just where I was, but it seemed like a lot of people use their horn as a turn signal. They don't use their horn as a turn signal. They'll use their horn to say, look out, I'm going to do something incredibly stupid. So usually they'll honk their horn and then they'll blow through a red light, like while there's other people, kind of like, hey, I'm going through, and then go through. But not a horn as a turn signal. In fact, there are some laws that are in Korea that are much stricter than they are in the US for driving, but overall driving here is much more lax, I feel. If you do get your international driver's license and you're in Korea, you don't actually need to get a test to drive here to rent a car, but some things you should know is you cannot make a right turn on a red unless you see there are no cameras around you and you're totally sure. Another thing you can't do is you can't make a U-turn unless there's a U-turn sign. Whereas in the US, you can make a U-turn as long as it's clear, as long as it's green. And now it's like fully raining. Yeah, we're not going anywhere for a sec. Waiting here for the sudden downpour to stop. We're kind of trapped here. Oh, Daniel, thank you. I was actually thinking about, before I left, I realized I didn't eat anything. While I was getting ready, I quickly shoved I had like a yogurt cup. I quickly shoved that in my mouth and like a little piece of chocolate bread that my friend had given me. And I was like, what am I going to do for lunch? I'm going to be so hungry. Thank you. Appreciate it. And so now I've got $20 for lunch. That'll get me a nice lunch. Appreciate it. Daniel says, I got stuck in rush hour traffic one time. Different Daniel. I got stuck in rush hour traffic one time from Incheon to Seoul. It was terrible. Yeah. Rush hour traffic is pretty bad, but I'll say it's not as bad as LA. If you're from LA or probably New York, rush hour traffic like actually stops a lot in LA at least. Like we have a freeway, if anyone's familiar with the 405. 405 freeway is just one freeway that goes up and down across LA. And frequently call it the 405 parking lot. It's just stopped a lot. Like you're not moving. You'd be like sitting there for a whole minute, not moving. You could get out of your car, walk to the side of the road, look around, walk back in your car. Yeah. Whereas you don't get that so much in Korea. I feel like it might slow down and stop for a little bit, but then it'll keep going just slowly. It kind of crawls at some places. But the reason is, in general, Korean drivers tend to be a little more aggressive. So whereas a lot of us in the US, we're still pretty polite. We'll let people go in. Like we realize that they're stuck in the same mess that we are. So unless they're being rude or unless they're like being really pushy, we usually like to let someone in, especially if they're signaling. We'll be like, yeah, go in. In Korea, they're like, nope, nope, nope. Like a bus could be coming and the bus is literally turning into the lane you're going into. Like they're gonna obviously stop and let people on and off. And the cars just keep going like, nope, I'm going first, I'm going first, I'm going first, all the way to the end until they get actually blocked. And then the bus will honk and go through. I've had lots of cars, like they're in a right turn lane and they're trying to get in front of a bus that's trying to get into the right turn lane. I'm like, what are you doing? And then they end up missing their exit, of course. Star THX, write each letter 10 times and say it every time you write it. Then just keep reading it and you'll get it. That could be good. I'd say any sort of practice is going to be helpful like that. Also, just accept that it's going to take time. So there is no trick. There's no shortcut to learning things faster that simply take a long time to acquire. So same with sound change rules. Like don't get stuck on sound change rules and master them until you can go on. Just learn them, take notes, practice, and then move on. You'll get them later, but it's not something that you're gonna be able to master before you can continue. Samantha asked about something I see some people replying to. Maybe I missed it. Oh, Lingo Deer. I heard about Lingo Deer when it first launched and it used to be free. At that time, I would say, yes, I totally recommend it. And then they went paid only and I've never tried it since then. So if it's at least as good as it used to be, I don't see why not. I don't have any, I'm not getting paid to promote them, but if it's at least as good as it used to be when it was free, I'd say it's not a bad tool. But I've never used it except, like I said, when it was brand new, I tried it out. That was I tried it out because it was free. But I would recommend, at least I would recommend it over other apps, I'll say. I just heard about the Tuida app. I've downloaded it, but I haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried that either in like 4 years, so I can't tell you. I mentioned I got Lingo Deer after trying Duolingo, yeah. Mary Mochi says, I also got your book, so I'm using multiple sources. Okay, that's fine. It's fine to use multiple sources. In fact, that's good, but pick one as your main resource. Don't have multiple main resources. Like if you're following one and it tells you, now we're gonna learn this, do that on only one resource. The other ones, don't follow their order for what you're learning. You can use them as references, like if you have multiple textbooks. Pick one that you follow, and then when you get extra material, you can grab it from the others, but don't jump around learning multiple things. That's gonna mess you up really bad. But having them is helpful. You wanna have like a dictionary you can use, online or physical. You wanna have like grammar references. You wanna have vocabulary references. You want a lot of these different things, but you wanna have one main resource, whether that's online lessons or a book or an ebook or whatever. Because your brain can only take so much at once. If you're like shoving in 10 grammar forms at the same time and you think that's gonna make you faster, it's slowing you down. It would be faster to do those 10 one at a time. Okay, yeah, I'm just making sure. You might understand, but many people don't. Someone said Duolingo for vocabulary. I would say, despite not using Duolingo, so I can't speak from experience, I would say the best resource for vocabulary is going to be your actual usage. What vocabulary do you encounter in your regular life? So, and that's kind of hard to judge as a brand new beginner because you don't know what vocabulary will I need. So I would say as a brand new beginner, don't worry about vocabulary at all. Vocabulary can come from the books, the lessons you're using. That's it. That's more than enough for right now. But once you're beyond that, like beyond the basics, and you've gotten like, maybe you have like 1,000 words, right? Now you have to start worrying, okay, I need more vocabulary to speak. The best source of that vocabulary is going to be in your regular usage. So if you have conversations with your friends, the words your friends are using. Not necessarily the words that they're trying to teach you, because they might try to teach you slang words or like really niche words, but the words they're actually using in their regular conversations, like just their regular sentences, like, oh, what did you do today? You know, like those words. That's going to be a better source. I would not usually recommend vocabulary books separately because they don't have context. So, and that's what you need as a beginner, is context to use the word. As an advanced learner, when you get to the higher levels, you can do vocab lists just fine. But as a beginner, any vocab you learn without context is going to dissolve, and it's going to be gone from your brain in a couple months at best. Are you self-taught? Yeah, I mean, I've watched other videos online. I have books, but I don't have like a personal teacher. I didn't attend like classes in Korea or anything like that. Also, the channel Your Korean Sem. Yeah, she doesn't upload videos anymore. She's just been too busy. But I still contact her every now and again, maybe like once a year. Once or twice a year, I'll send her a message like, Merry Christmas or something like that. And if she comes back to Korea, I hope she starts again. She just got too busy to do the channel. But I really like her channel. Polygon says, plenty of Korean words share the same meaning and could mean different things, so it's a bit tricky to learn them without context. Yeah. The very basic words, like very beginner level words, don't have that problem so much. I mean, if you learn like 감사하다 and 고맙다, both mean to be thankful, you can just learn them each individually. Like, oh, 감사하다 is more polite and 고맙다 is a little less, a little more casual. Like, you can just learn that, and that's enough for the beginner level. But when you actually encounter those examples beyond the very beginning stages, you need more context than that to actually use them correctly. So that's why I don't really recommend vocabulary lists. Even like, I'm talking a little louder because it's noisy. Even like frequency lists, which list the most common words that are actually used, which in theory seems great. Those most common words sometimes are synonyms also, which give you the same exact problem. You won't know when to use them. They might come with some sentences, but they come with no context. And before you think you can ask ChatGPT for examples, ChatGPT is one of the worst places to get example sentences because they all come out the same. It's like ChatGPT uses the same book to give you the examples from. I mean, it actually is, because it has like this big database that it's picking out from, and it ends up giving you the same sentence types over and over again. It's not going to give you actual sentences that people use with it. It's going to make its own new types of sentences with it, and it'll quickly give you awkward examples. So be careful with that, especially as a new beginner, like with AI stuff. But if that changes, if they have some new tools for AI, like I don't know all the ones that are out there, I'll let you know. And there are use cases for ChatGPT, but not like general, I would say. You have to use it carefully. Taeyang's Kuma, welcome. Hey. You know what's funny? Taeyang Kuma, if you saw the new Squid Game, now Charsu is an official character. Because I just saw the little Charsu head you have next to your member icon. So, just know that you knew about Charsu before it was mainstream, before it was cool. Now you're a Charsu hipster. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry I'm stuck in here. This is like a boring live stream now because... although I do get to talk with you, so that's always a good thing. If anyone's just tuning in, what's going on is there was no weather predicted for today. None whatsoever. And it just started raining. So we're stuck under this awning on a random store that I guess they're open, but there's no one inside, so I think we're good. I wouldn't want to stand in front of someone's actual business if they're open. Yeah, it's just raining heavily. Sorry about that. I checked the weather this morning, and it said no rain. Zero. I don't mean like small chance. I mean 0 rain. and it is pouring. And because it said 0, I didn't bring my backup umbrella. I have a really small umbrella I carry around when it even says there's a chance of rain. Because who knows? You know, I like to be prepared. 0! This is more than 0. Do people ever doubt your ability to teach Korean since you're not Korean? Yes, every day. As you can see from my view counts on my lesson, and I get it. I'm not offended. I see what you see too every day. I look in the mirror. A white dude dressed like a hillbilly. I see it. I can acknowledge that. If I was learning Korean for the first time, what would you look for? Would you look for like a professional Korean, or even better, an attractive Korean who whispers you sweet nothings? No, I'm just kidding. There's some good teachers. Would you look for a Korean, or would you look for someone in their thumbnails doing this? Yeah, I get it. Sorry, but I saw a warning for heavy rain grade 3 on Korean news yesterday. Great. Well, I didn't see it. Is your son with you? No. He's not here today. I think he's going to the library to return some books. He's been borrowing lots of books while we're here in Korea. And I think he's doing like roller skating or something today. My 7 Korean teachers are all gorgeous. I'm just like, my face is just getting like, not sweaty, but it's humid. Taeyang's Kuma says, I personally like learning from you because you know what it means to study a language that's not something you were born into and had to learn as an adult. Thank you. That's my one and only benefit I have, is that I can explain concepts in a way that non-native, that learners would understand. Sorry, I'm trying to get my water bottle. I'm not trying to show you my triple chin. I have a horita, barley tea. And yeah, so it's that I can explain things in a way that learners can understand because it's how I had to learn it. Sometimes it's the exact way that I learned it, and other times it's ways that I've thought about really hard after trying to make lessons simpler to understand. This is not exclusive to Korea, but bori is like barley, and borita is one of my favorite drinks in Korea. It's called barley tea, but it's literally just water with barley in it. It's not like tea. It's not like caffeinated or anything like that. But it's not even herb tea. It's literally just barley. So it's like fancy flavored water. I like it though. I mean, water's probably better if you're just looking for hydration, but it tastes good. And no sugar or salt or anything. It's just barley and water. And you can also buy it in the US. You can order it online. It's not like a Korean specific thing. You can find it in all other Asian countries too. Taeyang Kuma says barley tea sponsorship. Yes, I am so open to that. Literally, I would absolutely do a barley tea sponsorship. If you work at a barley company that makes barley tea, please reach out to me and we'll work something out. I might even do it for free. Just send me some barley. I mean, barley tea. Not barley, I won't be able to do anything with that. So I'd have to roast it. Oh, Samanda, thank you. Did you take the TOPIK exams? No, I've never actually taken, like sat down, graded the TOPIK exams. I have seen them. I've taken mock tests before. When I was preparing for my TOPIK exam, this would have been a long time ago. I don't actually remember when. It might have been like 2012 or something. Helicopter. So I haven't taken the exam, but recently people actually have always asked me, have I taken the, okay, I think it stopped raining, so we're gonna walk again. Have I taken the TOPIK exam? Oh yes, that big rain cloud is moving away. That's the rain cloud here, and it's going in that direction. Slowly. I can see slowly, but it's moving. And over here is Clear skies. I hope that means our rain's over. Okay, so back to the topic. The TOPIK test, I believe, only lasts for 2 years. So if you take the test, you can only say for 2 years that you have a score. And after that, your score is no longer valid. Oh, great. Now the rain stopped, and now it's like really sunny. You know what? Forget this. Forget all this. I'm going back to the park. Forget it. I'm not going to that second park. It's going to be like raining again. I know it. But I did want to show you that other park. But which direction is it? Okay, fine. We'll walk this way a little bit. We'll walk this way just a little bit and see if we can find another park. But if I don't see anything by the end of this block, I'm going back. Okay, let's take... So yeah, TOPIK only lasts for 2 years. And I thought, why am I trying to take the TOPIK? This was when I was preparing for it. I'm like, why am I trying to take the TOPIK test? Because the TOPIK is for a purpose. You take it for like immigration, or you take it for living in Korea, working in Korea usually. Like a job might require a TOPIK score. That's it. That's the only reason you take it. It's not like I mean, you can take it for yourself, for just kind of to say, hey, I passed the test. But in my case, I'm not looking for that. So I thought, why am I going to spend all this money and all this work to take a test, which you do have to prepare for. You can't just go in blind. Otherwise, you won't get the score you want. Otherwise, I mean, if I take it, I want to get a 6, right? I don't want to get like barely a 6. I want to get like boom. So I would definitely want to prepare, because there are vocab words that are only used commonly in the TOPIK test, but that you won't hear too often. Like there might be some specific financial terms that I don't know. So I would study those. So I just thought, why am I doing this? There's no reason, so I didn't take it. And even if I did take it, like I said, I'd have to keep taking it every 2 years. Oh. Is 6 a high rate? 6 is the maximum score on the TOPIK, or the maximum level. But it's actually not really that high. You can get a TOPIK 6 without actually knowing how to speak much Korean. At least that's how it was a few years ago. I don't know how it's changed since they added the speaking portion. But originally how it was is you could even get TOPIK 6 without knowing how to speak much Korean. Again, it's a test. You can study for the test. That doesn't really mean you're going to be... Okay, I don't see another park over here. I am just going to walk down to the other side, and I'm going to go back to the park. So we'll walk around this neighborhood a bit. Is that Korean or American? In the Netherlands, we usually use 1 to 10. This is for the TOPIK. The TOPIK test is 1 to 6. It's not a Korean thing. It's just a TOPIK thing. Although they do have tests that will go in levels, like, you know, not that aren't to 10. I believe the Japanese proficiency test, or no, yeah, that does too, but I don't know how that one works. The Hanja proficiency test. There's also a Chinese character proficiency test as well that I believe has, I can't remember how many levels there are, but there's a test like that as well. Why are some streets painted red? So, that's a random interesting question. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to show you guys trash. So, this is just trash that people put out. It's supposed to be this way, the garbage trucks will collect it. The streets are red, someone asked. I believe that's a coating. It's just a coating to kind of go over the road. Maybe it's for protection. My guess is it protects the road. And then I got a donation, so let me check that out. Who is that? Where can I find... Hey, Raymond! Thank you, Raymond! Where can I find the best kalbi in Suwon? Ah! I went to the wall a few months ago. Nice! The best kalbi. Okay. There was... Oh my goodness. There was such a good restaurant I went to that wasn't too far from the wall. The wall. The fortress. Yes. but I don't remember the name. I will have to ask my wife what the name of that restaurant was. I remember what it looked like, the exterior. But if you ask me on my Discord, if you tag me on Discord, I'll try to find some of the popular kalbi restaurants in Suwon. There isn't like one best place, but there are some. Ask me on Discord, tag me there. I'll look it up and I'll let you know sometime later today or tomorrow at the latest, but probably today. Today in Korea anyway. Just know from the Extreme Job. Oh yeah. So Extreme Job is, you can actually find that place. That place is the Tongdak-gori. Tongdak is like chicken. Tongdak-gori, the Suwon chicken street, which is also not far from the wall. It's actually right next to where I do my live streams always. Whenever I go there, I always start there. And if you go to the Tongdak-gori there, that has that actual, the dish that they make in that movie. And the dish that they make in that movie, actually, it kind of existed before the movie, but it wasn't really a thing. It was just something that the restaurant did. But it became popular from that restaurant. Of course, everyone wants to try what does that amazing chicken actually taste like? And you can try it in the chicken street, and it is very good. I loved it. I didn't get it this year, but usually I'll get it every year since that movie came out. One year I got it twice. But anyway, yeah, that's really good if you get the wangalbi chicken. Okay, but yeah, for kalbi, ask me on the stream, but I'll tell you something, ask me on Discord. But there's something else related to that I will tell you, and that is the whole concept about different places in Korea have like different foods that they're famous for is all fabricated. Kind of like Valentine's Day being fabricated. I mean, this isn't like a great insight, everyone knows this, but it's one of those things where it was fabricated to help promote tourism to different areas of Korea, because if you hear like, oh, this place is famous for this, you might try to go there to try to get that food. And promoting it for that means that those places are also going to try to focus a little more on that, because they know people are going to those regions to get the food. In some of the cases, it's related to locations where a dish is actually from. Like if you go to, I believe Gwangju is the birthplace of bibimbap. Or no, Jeonju, sorry, Jeonju. Jeonju is the birthplace of bibimbap. Sorry, there's one of those Jews in there. Gyeongju is the different place. Gwangju is the one that flooded recently. Anyway, Jeonju bibimbap. So because it's from there, a lot of restaurants there will serve it because they know that tourists are looking for that specifically. But like Suwon kalbi, it's just a thing. I mean, they do have good restaurants for it here. You'll find it here more often, and you'll find it a lot of good places here. But that was kind of like the external pressure made the restaurants want to open up and stay and serve that more because people are looking for it. But what I'm saying, the reason I'm telling you this isn't to diss on Suwon, because they do have good kalbi. They are famous for it. But just to tell you that you don't have to go to Suwon to get it, is what I'm saying. So if you find a really good restaurant that has really good reviews that's in Seoul, it's probably just as good as any place here if it's a good place. It's not like Suwon has a contract with the kalbi manufacturers that they get all of their best kalbi first or anything like that. But yeah, at least get the chicken and then ask me on Discord. I'll tell you the name of a few places. Gochang's watermelon is just a watermelon. I haven't tried that kind. Is that a specific type? I just know watermelon in Korea is so ridiculously expensive that I've never bought it before. I mean, I've had it before. Oh wait, no, I did buy it once to make hwachae with Jeremy. I got a small one. But large watermelon typically run around, like a cheap one would be like 2만 won. So you're looking at like 16 bucks for a cheap, large watermelon, like one that's bigger than, maybe about this big in relation to my head. Just a regular size. So it's kind of more of a fancy fruit. It's not something you're just going to always have on hand. Like in the US, there, you can get a giant watermelon like $3 sometimes on sale, or like $6. So you just throw them in your fridge and eat half of it and throw the rest of it away. But it's a little more special here. Whatang is famous for? Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's really good. Sad if I went to Korea and couldn't buy any. Some fruits I've had in Korea, I will clearly say taste better than they do back home. One of them is Asian pear. You can get Asian pear in the US as well nowadays. It's not as good as the ones that you get here in Korea. I don't know, like they export the smaller ones or something. They're not exporting the highest pears. They're like the crispy ones. I'm not talking about like the mushy Bartlett pears or the nice hard Bosque pears, but the big Asian pears that are like really round. The ones you get in the US seem to be a little bit smaller. And also, what else? If I thought about it, there are a couple other things too. It means to add something as an ingredient to what you're cooking. Why is fruit so expensive there? I wouldn't say it's that it's so expensive here. I would say that it's cheaper in some other countries. But that's a good question. Not every fruit though is expensive, but imported fruit tends to be really expensive. Anything that's imported is going to be expensive. Whereas if you compare that to the US where, I mean, except for a few things, we grow everything, like even almonds, like California grows all those almonds. Avocados, like, are straight from, South America. We don't have too far of places we have to import from. But in Korea, you have a few issues, and some of them are a bit political. So excuse me if I say anything that's wrong. But generally, the sentiment about imported food from China is negative in Korea. So if you see so say you're going to the grocery store and you want to buy a banana, right? No, let's not do banana. Bananas don't come from China anyway. Okay, let's do a better example. Let's say mushrooms. Okay, you're going to buy some mushrooms. So you go to the store and you're like, oh, yum yum, I want some mushrooms. That's exactly what I do. You see, there's a kuksan. Kuksan is made in Korea. Kuksan mushroom that you want. You're like, oh, that's great. It's like cheonwon. Okay, it's like about 70 cents or 80 cents or whatever for one. You're like, okay, I'll get that. But right next to it is another one that said 중국. So China. That's half the price. It's 500 won. So it's like, 30 cents, 30 something cents. In the US, if you saw two mushrooms next to each other and one was like US grade, one is like from China, would you really care that much? Like if you have a budget and you're not like really wealthy and you're like, oh, I'll get the US made one today. You're not going to care. In fact, the supermarket might not even give you those choices in the first place. They'll just put the cheaper one on the shelf. You're not going to look where your banana came from. You're not going to care, right? In Korea, they care. So if they see something that says, made in, if it's like, some countries they're fine with, but specifically stuff that comes from China, people can be a bit sensitive about that and they feel like it's inferior quality when it could be, but whether it is or not, they avoid buying them. So you can get cheaper fruits and vegetables in Korea, but usually people won't do that. And restaurants also won't serve that because it's a law in Korea that you have to list what country the ingredients in your main dishes are on a sign on your restaurant. So if you go for certain types of food, I don't know what types of food are included, but a really good example of that would be anytime you go to a meat restaurant, look on the wall, you're gonna see exactly where their ingredients come from. It'll show you, and I guarantee you, it's gonna say the meat is from one of two countries. It's gonna either be, three. It's either gonna be Kuksan, which is how you refer to made here in the country. You could say Hanguk, but they don't say that for made in Korea. You use Kuksan. So it could say Kuksan, that's like really high. It could say Migu, in which case they'll usually advertise it with like the USDA grade or whatever. So it can be Korea, it can be America. And the third option, can anyone guess what the third country is where you might commonly find meat from in Korea? Taeyang Kuma, I remember some chef celebrities got in trouble for listing the country of origin wrong. Yes, that's right. You would get in deep trouble. It's not just for, there's been several instances of this. There was also an instance where people were making, Castella bread There was a big conspiracy about Castella bread in Korea several years ago. I don't know, maybe this was like 8 years ago or more, when a bunch of people got busted for that, and it was supposed to be a new trend, and all these businesses were pushing Castella bread to be the new food trend, and all these restaurants opened up, and then that story broke and they all shut down. Just like kind of like serves you right if you're going to try to deceive people about that. But anyway, yes, it is Australia. Hoju-san is also a very common one that I see. Now, as far as meat quality, maybe it's just in my mind, but I feel like the best meat that you can get in Korea is when it's marked as from America. Don't hate me, okay? Don't at me, but it's not to say that American meat is better quality, but the type of meat that Korea gets imported as American meat is typically the it's like USDA beef. Whereas a lot of the meat that we eat, any type of meat, except for chicken, I feel like Korean chickens are smaller, and I don't know if they're juicier, but they seem to have a little more flavor sometimes. Anyway, the meat that we typically eat in the U.S. might be USDA. It might be like American, USDA Prime or something like that. Like if you get it from Costco, it will be. But a lot of it we have is just going to be whatever comes from Mexico. No shade at Mexico. They make good stuff, but it's not going to be like the high quality, graded, expensive stuff. It's meat. So you might get some really good stuff. You might get some, poor quality stuff. It might not have been properly handled, or I've had a lot of issues where the meat that I get from the Mexican supermarket in the States, which no issue with it. It's nice and cheap. It tastes really good, but sometimes the butchering quality is not so good on it. So, but the stuff you get in Korea is usually pretty good too, but I feel like sometimes the American stuff is better for regular restaurants, if you notice that. But if you have like really high quality Hanu, so like not just Korean beef, not just like Kuksan, not just Korean made beef, but like Korean made Hanu, that is really good. I would say that's sometimes better than like the USDA Prime that you'll get in the US. But try them both. Let me know which one you like better. Just personally, I feel like at regular places, the Korean one or the American one are my favorites. The Hoju one is sometimes it's sometimes okay, and sometimes it's like, it's a little bit too chewy. Yeah, Hanu beef you pay for it. Yes. If you're looking for a nice cheap meal, oh my God, hold on. I actually have no clue where I am right now. I'm gonna walk to that street, and I'm gonna pray that the park is on the other side. Yeah, if you're gonna get Hanu in Korea, you need to be prepared to pay for it. It's not cheap. And it is raining again. Hold on. I'm gonna go underneath this building here for a second. Please don't get lost, says M&M Twix. Yes. Are there a lot of vegetarian options in Korea? There are a lot of vegetarian options in Korea, but you need to be picking all the restaurants you go to. So if you're asking, if I'm vegetarian and I meet my friends, will I have any problem getting food? The answer is you will. But if you tell them you're vegetarian and you find a place to eat that's vegetarian, you won't. I'd say though, being at least vegetarian is better than if you were vegan, which I think would be pretty difficult to find. Because a lot of the food that's in Korea, even if it doesn't seem like it, a lot of it's not vegan friendly, even if it's vegetarian friendly, because they'll use fish sauce or like anchovy paste and stuff like that in a lot of recipes that are vegetarian safe. So just keep that in mind. If you're like extremely strict vegetarian, then you definitely want to search before you go to a restaurant to find out what they have on the menu. But if you just walk into a restaurant and sit down, chances are low that you'll find something there that you can eat. At least that you'll find something there that you'll eat that you wanted to eat. I'll say there might be some things you can get, like you can order like a noodle dish instead of the meat dish at a meat restaurant. But if you go there by yourself and you just order a noodle dish, the owner might not be happy because you're taking up a seat for someone who would be eating a lot of meat. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Did you walk into the dark clouds? What does that mean? Oh, the dark clouds came to me. Have you tried sannakji? Yes, I have. I've tried it many times. It's not that big of a deal. I don't go out of my way to eat it though. I only have it if I'm with someone who already ordered it for themselves. I don't order it myself because I feel kind of bad about it. Like the way you make it is okay. Literally the way here. Okay, so first of all, sannakji, for anyone who doesn't know, san is like live. Nakji is it's not it's like, yeah, it's kind of like the small octopus, right? It's basically octopus, live octopus, but it's the small ones. It's not those giant ones that are like in ocean documentaries. These are like the really smaller ones. Anyway, the way you make it is the worker takes one of the little octopus out of the tank, brings it over to your table, and pulls out a pair of scissors. And you can use your imagination. Cuts it into small pieces, puts it on your plate. It's still wriggling around because, you know, the electric signals are still going to keep working after. Obviously, at that point, it's not alive anymore, but it's still moving. But it just seems cruel, okay? It's so like, I don't have a problem if you want to eat it. Personally, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, that's you. But like, I don't want to personally buy it. But if someone else already orders it, yeah, I'll eat it. It tastes good. It's very chewy. It's very like rubbery, but it's not rubbery in a bad way. It's like rubbery, like you chew it and it gets softer and gets softer and softer eventually. There have been many instances where people who are drunk, who are just like shoving it in their mouth and they're drinking and they're not like fully, you know, aware, choke on it and die because it still has the suckers and the suckers still work. They'll still like suck onto your throat so it can get stuck in your throat, and if you're, you know, inebriated, you know, anything can happen. So don't have that if you're really drunk. But it tastes okay, but I never wanted to feature it on the video because of that. I never wanted to make a video about eating it because I'm like, this is a little bit like cruel. For the same reason, I'm never gonna feature like something like dog soup on this channel. You'll never see me making a video about that. It's like, it's cruel. So yeah, but if you ever try the live octopus, it's really not that big of a deal. I don't think so. It looks weird, but the flavor is nothing like weird at all. It's like, if you do like squid, I'll ask you, or not squid, do you like octopus? Who doesn't like octopus? It's like delicious, right? It tastes like that, but chewy and cool, kind of refreshing because it's like, you know, still wet and cool. Yeah. You get to feel like a sea predator while you're like eating this live octopus. You're like, imagine what you know, like what a fish must experience when they go and grab an octopus. Anyway, can someone say when the octopus talk's over? Oh yeah, that's over. That's over. What about kebur? It looks disgusting. Oh, kebur is the okay. I think it's stuck. The sea squirt, right? It's still kind of sprinkling, but it's not heavy rain, so I'm just gonna walk over here a little bit. So there's a guy smoking over there. I don't want to be there anymore. Kebur is the sea squirt, I believe. They taste... Nah, they're not that great. I've had it before. It's not that great. I didn't like it. I don't remember what it tasted like. I just remember thinking, Okay, I'm kind of like stuck again here because it's still raining. I'm gonna stay here for a sec. As a vegetarian wannabe, that sort of stuff is circus. I understand. See, that's why I'm not making, that's why I wouldn't make a video about it. If it's in a video, I would never like feature that in a video either, because it's a little bit much, I think. Especially for if you're, you know, vegetarian, or even if you're not. I'm not a vegetarian, but I still think it's a bit much. I love how you're always talking about food on your live stream. You can tell my priorities in life. Teaching Korean and eating food. That's why I'm so happy when people donate and they're like, get yourself some good lunch. I'm like, yeah, that's all I was thinking about right now besides this stream. What about wuhae? Ah, yeah, wuhae. It's good. I don't know what I can tell you. It's good. I like any hae. So, do you like jjajangmyeon? Yes, I do. I love jjajangmyeon. I have jjajangmyeon like maybe every 2 weeks in Korea. It's pretty affordable and it's good. And it's Chinese inspired, but it's definitely not Chinese food. If anyone's wondering, jjajangmyeon is not the same as the like jjajangmyeon or whatever they have in China. It's the name was inspired by that, but the dish is completely different. And I really like it. Yeah, it doesn't even have a Chinese flavor though to begin with. It doesn't have any of those like Chinese ingredients that you would expect. And even though there's chunjang in it, there's like that black paste, it's like sweetened, so it's nothing about it screams Chinese food. Take care, Walker. Is there a Korean food you don't like at all? I don't like lots of Korean food, but I'll eat anything. But what I did not like, that I can definitely say I did not like, was kaori. Kaori is the sting. It has the, what's the word in English? Is it stingray? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Anyway, it's something like that. It's one of those things with the tail. That's one of those big flat fish with the tails. Anyway, the reason is it's served typically as a side dish. It's not like, you're not going to get a main dish of this. I just thought it was overly chewy. And the same goes for haesam. Haesam is sea cucumber. It was overly chewy. It felt like I was chewing on a rock that was wrapped in gum. It's like you're chewing the outside gum and inside there is a rock that just won't get soft no matter how much you chew it. And I just didn't like it that much. But I ate it. Same with kaori. It kind of gave me the same feeling. It was like you're eating a rose stem with the thorns and everything covered with a layer of thick gum. Like, dude, just at this point, kaori, at this point, if you've evolved to taste like that, just enjoy your life. Good job. You've won. You've won the evolutionary lottery. But no, humans are like, no, I'm going to eat it. You've got plenty of other good food there. No, I'm going to eat it. So, yeah, those two I didn't really care for. I also don't like hongo, although most Koreans don't, to be fair. It's not really I'm not special for saying that. I didn't really like hongo because it tasted horrible, had a terrible aftertaste. Although I ate it a couple times, I've had it. It's not good. I don't recommend it. Yeah, I didn't like it, but I can eat anything. But then I have, there are foods that I prefer, and there are foods I prefer not to eat. And I just realized I've been walking the wrong direction this whole time, because the park I was at is over in that direction. The park I was trying to go to is this direction, not further in that direction. So no wonder I didn't see a park when I walked another block, because I was supposed to see a park immediately when I crossed the street, and this is the park I was looking for the whole time. So I'm just gonna walk over here, see if there's anything, probably not. Do this stream for just another 30 minutes max, and then we're gonna stop for today. Bondegi. Bondegi is surprisingly mild. It has none of the flavor of how it looks. It's basically the silkworm pupa, or I don't know how you pronounce pupa. It's silkworm larva, basically, and it looks like you're eating a bug, like you're eating, like you opened a cocoon and you took out what was inside and ate it. It looks exactly like that, and the texture is exactly like that, but the flavor is surprisingly like soft beef jerky or like chicken. I would put that on a grossness factor from the appearance at like a 7 or 8, but the texture at maybe like a 4, because it's a little bit chewy. But the flavor of that gross factor is 0. Like nothing weird about that. If you closed your eyes and I put one of those in your mouth and just said eat it, you'd be like, what is this? And I could tell you anything, you'd be like, oh, it's pretty good. Like, oh, it's just a piece of chicken jerky. You'd be like, oh, yeah, it's pretty good, thanks. It's totally nothing. And then even better is they serve it in juice, which is like how they cook it. They boil it in this like, it's kind of like, I think it's like a chicken stock. They like use some sort of stock, and it boils together with the juices of the bondegi, which sounds disgusting. I'm gonna tell you that while I'm saying it. It tastes really good. It's like really hearty, thick chicken noodle soup. Oh, not noodle, but chicken soup. And I never knew that until the last time I met one of my friends, Randy. And he's like, oh, I especially like the juice. I'm like, what are you talking about? The juice? You drink that stuff? I thought it was just like, you know, you're supposed to throw it away. But no, it is so good. That stuff, you can just sip that. So yeah, I think bandegi is kind of overrated in its grossness factor. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone should try it if you find it, but I don't think you're gonna find it. It's really hard to find nowadays unless you buy it in a can. As you can all see here, I've been transported to France. We're now in front of the Louvre Museum. Ignore the Korean writing on the signs. That's they're doing some Korean event here in France. And ignore the Korean signs on the door. That's just for the event. And ignore all the Korean buildings surrounding it. They built those. It's a really big Korean event they're doing here in France. Yeah, this was the other place I was trying to show you guys the whole time I walk. Oops. Can I fix this? Hold on. There we go. This was the place I was trying to show you before I walked the opposite direction. But I've never been here, so there's like nothing here to show you except that pyramid thing, which is closed or open. I think it's open. I'm not gonna go there. We're in France. Everything Korean is a green screen. The buildings, they set this whole thing up really fast for the Korean France celebration that they're doing, I guess, today. But there's no one here yet, so I'm first. Anyway. Okay, let's see here. Is Tangma season over? Yeah, Tangma season, we didn't really get it this year. It was like a week. It was really short, and it's normally supposed to rain a lot, and it rained like for maybe, it was like cloudy weather for the time it was supposed to be, and it only rained like one day. It was like 1.5 days. And then right now is the typhoon season originally, but we're not getting any typhoon. We're just getting, yeah, we're just not getting anything. Not getting typhoon, just rain. Last week it was raining the whole week. Okay, if I keep walking down this way, I'll get to a park that I've been to before, which is awesome. But I wouldn't have enough time to show you guys because I'm only doing this stream until noon. And then I gotta get back to the house because I gotta get ready and do some things, and then I'm gonna be meeting my friend for dinner. So, I'm not gonna go to the other park. But I'll save that for another stream. Maybe I'll bring Jeremy there. That's a really cool park. If anyone knows where I am in Suwon exactly, you might know what park I'm talking about, but it is a really cool park. A lot of people go there to take photos. It's really common to see people doing cosplay at the other park. Like, that's how popular it is for photos. Every time I go there, there's like 2 groups of people doing cosplay and taking photos. Okay, I don't see any way that I can get out of here. I think I have to go back. Okay, I have a question. Do sound change rules apply in between 2 words? Like, 오늘? Well, those ones, the answer to your question, do sound change rules apply in between 2 words? If they are said one after the other, yes, they are. But your second part of your question is not an example of that because there is no sound change interaction between ton and because the lir, the L letter, is at the bottom of that syllable. It doesn't touch the ton. Which city are you in right now? I'm in a city called Suwon. Suwon is right next to Seoul, I'd say. It's like 40-minute bus, maybe an hour-long trip, depending what part of Seoul you're going to. It could be between 40-50 minutes and an hour and a half, but that'll get you to pretty much most places in Seoul. But because it's close to Seoul, it's still like really well developed and tons of stuff to do, tons of good restaurants, really pretty. But because it's not Seoul, it's much cheaper, it's much wider. It's still pretty busy, you get a lot of people, but it's not as busy as you get somewhere in Seoul. Oh, yeah, it's hot. But yeah, I like it. I think if you're looking for restaurants in Korea, good restaurants in Korea, and you already live here, check out some restaurants in Suwon. You're probably gonna find some stuff like, I feel like most of the restaurants I go to in Suwon are really good quality. Like I could just, like if I were to just put this camera down, just walk into any restaurant, random, doesn't matter, it could have like no signage, and sit down, it's gonna be a good meal. I could not do that in Seoul. It's like a 50-50. Like probably okay, but at worst it's gonna be eh, and at best it'll be pretty good. Whereas in Suwon, it's like default is okay or pretty good, and at best it'll be amazing. And I haven't had many restaurants in Korea in Suwon where I thought, oh, that wasn't good at all, like I wish I saved my money. Those don't exist, because I don't think they don't survive very long. If you don't have really good food, your restaurant's not going to stick around. Wait, where am I? Oh, I walked to the other side. Okay, now I'm lost. I think though if I go this way and then walk down there on the other side, I think I'll get back to where I started. The forest was a really great nature day. Yeah, I love Fortress. Fortress is where I'd recommend anyone start if they're visiting Suwon for their first time, because it's just cool and you can go anywhere along the fortress. I also recommend checking out the shopping center, which is next to the old palace. There's the backup palace that they built in Suwon for the king, and right next to there is this little like a street area. There's actually a couple areas for shopping around there, but there is a specific street area that kind of is made to look like an older style Korean street. And it has a lot of cool things there that aren't for like, it's not for like foreign visitors, it's for Korean tourists. So because of that, it's really cool. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. Ah, there's no shade. Hold on, there's a little bit of shade over here. So yeah, if you visit the fortress, I recommend also checking out that little shopping street. And you'll see it. It's directly next to the palace area. And everyone's going to visit the palace if you go to Suwon Fortress. I get lost backing out of my driveway. Hey, M&M Twigs! Wow, M&M Twigs, thank you so much. I had a few people giving me donations for my lunch. M&M Twigs has now bumped me up to a full meal. I can get whatever I want with sides. Thank you so much, M&M Twigs. And you asked something. You ask, is there a place in Korea that you would like to visit or revisit? So yes, there are many places I would like to visit. Oh, and decoy octopus, you actually want a Yang-san for blocking the sunshine. Yang is the Hanja for sun. U is the Hanja for rain. So Usan is a rain umbrella, and Yang-san is a parasol. Although we don't really use that word so much in the US, we just say umbrella. So you'd want a Yang-san. Okay, so place I want to visit Gyeongju, because I think I've been there before, but I remember nothing about it. I definitely didn't get a tour of everything. If I went there at all, I know I went to the city area, and I may have gone to like one of the temples there. I also want to go to Gangneung because I've never been there. It's on the northeast, and there's lots of cool stuff around that area too. And a lot of Koreans have recommended that place to me. They say it's good for vacations. And finally, I also want to visit, we were mentioning it before, Gwangju, because I've never been there. But I don't actually know what I do there. I think it'd be cool, as well as Jeonju. I'll go to Jeonju and get some bibimbap. And Jeonju is just kind of like an old historical city. So I've never been there. I've surprisingly been to few places. Even though I've been all over Korea, I haven't been to like some of the popular tourist spots. So I would like that place. I would like to revisit. I want to revisit Jeju. Jeju Island was wonderful. I haven't been there in a long time. Definitely, if I can, I would like to revisit there. Oh wow. Oh, it's hot and humid. I almost missed the rain because now it's like the rain stopped, but you're just left with the same humidity. Are there discovery centers for kids? Oh yes. So, there is one that my kid now has gone to twice and loves it. It's like kind of like Discovery Cube type of thing. Send me a message on Discord because I don't have the name in my head. But we went there twice already. Well, my kid went there twice. I went there once. My kid went there twice. And it was really fun. They had like, you know, tons of interactive displays. Tons. It was just all interactive displays. Like, you know, playing with like making a little like a tornado indoors. Playing with like water and earthquake destroying buildings and stuff like that. Like science, like semiconductors. They had little activities you can sign up for to make things. So my kid made, I think it was like manon, so like not even that much money, like probably like $7 or $8. And he made this like LED structure kind of thing that has like a remote control. Like it includes the presentation, it includes the class, it includes the thing you're making, like really affordable stuff. Message me in Discord and I'll tell you the name of that science place. But it's not too far from here. I think it was like less than an hour from Suwon, so, but I don't remember exactly what city it was in. Was that near Kiho? Anyway, yeah, that was really cool. And there are others also in Seoul too. That's just the one that I remember. Oh, Samata. Thank you, Samata. I'm gonna have a nice lunch today. I got like $60 for lunch. That's more than you need. You know, lunch, you can get lunch in Korea easily, any restaurant for under 2,000won. And a lot of places for under manon, or like at manon for like a full lunch. And Samata asks, I'm visiting Korea in October. Oh, that's good. That's a good month to go. The beginning of the month is a little hot. The end of the month is nice and like perfect. Like, oh, if you're there anytime like the middle or end of October. End of October, beginning of November is like perfect weather. Okay, so you're going to Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. Do you have recommendations for how long I should stay in each city? 2 weeks. Oh, you only have 2 weeks. Okay. I would ask why you're going to Busan. No shade on Busan. I lived in Busan. But I would ask why you want to go to Busan, because there's nothing there you can't do in Seoul unless you have a specific goal. Like there's something you know you want to do in Busan. Jeju, however, there's a lot of stuff you can't do in Seoul, in Jeju. It's like a different country, pretty much. If you're only going for 2 weeks, I hate to say it, but can you just do Seoul? Because if you do Jeju, one of your days is going to be eaten just going to Jeju, and you only have 2 weeks. And in Jeju, you're going to need a car. It's like visiting LA in the US. You can't enjoy a big city that's spread out without having a car. So imagine you visit LA and you're like a tourist. What are you going to do? You have to rent a car. Do you want to rent a car in Korea? You can't rely on the public transportation for most of the stuff you want to do. All the cool stuff you want to do in Jeju, it's going to spend a lot of your time if you rely on the public transportation because it's not as frequent. It's not as well set up as it is in Seoul or even in Suwon. So what you have to do if you go to Jeju is you have to hire a personal taxi driver for the whole day. You'll pay them a few $100. I don't know how much it'll be now because I did it like over 10 years ago. You're gonna pay him like a few $100, and or he or she, probably a guy though, and he'll drive you to all the places you want to go, and he'll stop and hang out there and just wait in his car while you're there. You'll come back out to him, he'll drive you to the next place, and you're gonna want to do that for every day you're in Jeju. With exception of if you're planning on meeting someone or you're planning on going someplace that's like really common where everyone goes and there's a frequent bus that goes there, like that sort of thing. We did it for one day, and I'm really glad I did because we got to do everything we wanted to do in that one day. If you have to go to Jeju, I would say please consider that, but that's an extra expense. So you're paying for your flight to Jeju, you're paying for your hotel, which is way more than you're gonna pay for a hotel in Seoul because they know you're a tourist. And then you're also paying for a driver all day. And then you're also paying inflated costs of being in Jeju in any of the tourist areas. Now, with that said, if you are okay financially, I mean, you sent me a $10 donation. I really appreciate that. But I really hope that you have plenty of money. In that case, Jeju was wonderful. Highly recommended. My favorite place I've ever been to in Korea. But if it's your very first time in Korea and you're not rich, I'll just say it, if you're not like well off and you're trying to do things a little bit frugally, I would skip Jeju completely. Busan you can do. Busan is not too expensive. You can do that for under $100 for the for both ways for the KTX, and then you can get a cheap hotel there. It's not too bad. But there isn't anything you can't do in Seoul that you can do in Busan, with exception of like the beach if you want to go to Haeundae. So that's what I would recommend. But if you want to do Jeju, if you have to get it done, then here's what I would suggest. You fly from, you do Jeju first. And you fly from your, where are you from? I might say Jeju first or Jeju last. Put it on the end or the beginning of your trip. Whatever is fine. Fly from your country to Japan. Then fly from Japan to Jeju directly, or the other way when you go back home, if you're from the US. So what I mean is, don't try to go back to Korea, but like leave Korea and then you go to Jeju, and then from Jeju you leave to go to Japan and then fly back to your home country. The reason I add in Japan is because the plane tickets are cheaper than flying directly from Korea. And if you fly back to Seoul from Jeju and then go back to US, it's gonna be more expensive than just going through Japan usually. Put it on the front or the end of your trip. But I think you're going to have fun in Korea enough. I think you're going to like in Seoul. I think there's plenty of stuff to do here. And also I would say if you're going to do Jeju, it has to be like at least 3 days. I can't imagine you doing a 1-day trip to Jeju or even a 2-day trip, because, the first day is eaten up by the flight. The second day's, one of the other days is eaten up by like packing to go back. Like the night packing up really quick. And then you got to do a taxi, or you got to figure out a lot of that. So maybe if you have to do it, I would say a week and a half in Seoul and 3 days in Jeju, and then go back to your home country through Japan. That's what I would recommend. It was a very long way to answer that question. From Nepal. Is that how you write Nepal? And Elda says, I went to Jeju without a car. I spent half my time waiting for buses or in buses. Yes, I had the same experience where I went with my wife, and one day we had scheduled to do it with a taxi. I'm not sure which way I should go. I guess I should go back over this way. I think I'm gonna walk over there. It's just really sunny now. One day was scheduled with a taxi, but we were meeting a friend for another day. And then the third day we were there, we did it on our own, but we knew where we were going and we were prepared to deal with the buses. So some of the buses I remember came once every like 45 minutes. Like, you're just waiting at a bus stop. I mean, it's not a huge deal, 45 minutes, but it is a big deal. 45 minutes here, 30 minutes there, an hour here, 30 minutes here. It's like you're spending a third of your day just waiting for transportation or being in the bus. There's nothing to look at when you're in the bus. You're just driving through cities. Do a taxi or rent a car if you're okay with that. In fact, if you're okay with driving, I think if you're going to be driving, Jeju is a better choice to do driving than Seoul, because Seoul is just like hectic. Everyone's like crazy and there's a million cars. Jeju, at least the roads are fairly open. Like, you would have an easier time. It'd be less stressful driving than other places. So that's probably what I would recommend. What can I do while also watching the 100 episode course? You can just practice the 100 episode course. There isn't anything else you need to do, because the 100 episode course is the basic parts of the basic parts. It's really an introductory course that'll get you up to a very basic speaking level. Like, it's not going to make you fluent. It'll be very basic speaking level where you can say many of the things that you want to say and understand many basic things, but that's it. You can do that first. And then after you do that, ask me again. I guarantee you'll have a different question. You'll know so much by the time you finish that, everyone who asks me questions after they finish that course, it's always a different question. I guarantee. I don't even want to tell you what it is. You'll know what it is. Once you finish that, you'll know what to ask. And I guarantee you, it's not going to be, what do I do now? You'll have a good question ready. But yeah, and right now I would say you're doing good. Just keep doing the course. Practice a bit if you can. Especially as you get to the second half of the course, once you've reached past like lesson 40, 50, then really you want to be practicing it. If you don't have anyone to practice with, record yourself speaking to yourself, write some sentences, but don't stress too much because like I said, they're all basic things. You're going to be exposed to those in everyday life. And there is something you can do while you're doing the course. Watch lots of Korean YouTubers or variety shows in Korea, or listen to podcasts. And these days they have a lot of video podcasts on YouTube. That's what I would do. A lot of those while you're watching the course. Don't turn on English subtitles. You can have Korean subtitles if you want, but that's what I recommend. Do as much of that as you can. There is no maximum amount for that. Traveling from the East Coast of the US. Okay, yeah, then you would want to do that. Go when you leave from Korea, if you leave from Jeju, and then go to Japan, you can do a transfer. I don't mean like you're going to go to Japan and stay there, but like you do a transfer through Japan. Someone's asking, what is the sound? These are memi, cicadas or cicadas. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. And they are very happy during the summertime. I guess they're screaming to find a mate. Is that right? Or are they just screaming because it's hot? Either way, it makes sense. I live in Busan. Nice, Molly Moo. I am in Suwon. Okay, Cardi R at says, can you recommend any shows or Korean YouTubers? So I currently am enjoying watching a YouTuber named Lim with an L. Lim Toon. Toon, like tunes, like cartoon. Lim Toon. It's a horror cartoon, animated horror YouTuber, but it's not that scary. It's like cute. Like I show it to my kid. It's not scary. They're like short horror stories that are animated in a cute style, and they're pretty easy to understand. I mean, they're not for like brand new beginners, but they're pretty easy and they're fun. That, or if you like watching gaming videos, Lim Toon, it's all in Korean, Toon. Or if you like gaming videos, I used to watch a guy named Sutak. Sutak means rooster, so you can search for the Korean word for rooster if you can't understand what I'm saying. Sutak. I don't watch his videos anymore because I watched all 2,000 of them at the time. Literally all 2,000 of them during COVID. Each one is like 30 minutes to an hour. Yes, Kenneth, that's right, Lim Toon. And I realized that I couldn't learn anything else from his videos, so I stopped watching him, but I still like him. So I'd recommend him for gaming. Let's see what else. Oh, there's another YouTuber I started watching. There are a few other YouTubers I like, but I can't recommend them because their level would be way too high for most people here. Let's see what else. Besides that, though, I would just recommend my podcast list. Not my podcast. I don't have a podcast yet. But I made a video about recommended podcasts for learning Korean. And there are like 20 in there. And all of them I would recommend. So check out that list. If you search podcast on my channel, you'll find the list. Elda said, do you have any lesson on how to reject a weirdo? I'm in Gwangju right now, but I was in Seoul last week, and a guy approached my friend that saved me a text. What do you mean? What was he doing? My friend gave her Insta. Just block him. Yeah, immediately block him. That's not going to end well for your friend. So if someone's very, very direct, swift kick to the balls. No, I didn't tell you that. You can, one thing you can say is 됐거든요. Like 됐어요. 되다 is to become, but if you use it in a past tense, it's like that's it. It's it. We're done. Like I'm not interested. So 됐어요. Or you can be more direct about it. 됐거든요. Like, hey, I said no, I'm not interested. But 됐어요 is a simple way. Or just no in English. No. don't have to speak English because they might still be interested in you if you're using English at all. Even if you keep talking to them and say you're not interested, for them that's like, oh, it's English. That's cool. I want to hear more of this rejection in English, which sounds weird, but that's kind of what some of them are thinking. 됐어요. And then walking away. And you can do it louder and louder is okay. Because once they get, if other people start paying attention, they're going to feel nervous and they're going to stop bugging you. But usually if someone tries to bug me, now I don't get guys trying to bug me for my phone number very often, although I have, not often. If someone's bugging me for my contact information or bugging me to hang out or talk, I just keep walking. 됐어요, 됐어요. I prefer speaking in Korean to them because I feel like it makes them bored. They're like, I don't want to deal with this person who's just speaking to me in Korean. I thought I was going to get English practice, make a friend. And usually it'll be the people who are in the cults. There are a lot of cults in Korea. Korea has like more cult per population, whatever, than any other country. So if you see someone approaching you on the street and they're like looking at you like they're going to talk with you, unless you're Billy Go and they're saying, are you Billy Go? They're probably in a cult and they're trying to ask you a random, unsuspicious question to get you to start talking with them. I'm going to study bachelor's at BUFS from this fall semester. Any advice? First time in Korea? When in Korea, do as the Korean. My advice would be to enjoy your time, make Korean friends, try to make only Korean friends if you can. It'll be hard, but try to avoid making friends that speak your own language, because you're going to have a better trip if you interact with Korean culture. That's the only tip I can give you. Just make Korean friends. If you have a Korean phone number, which you will, you'll get a Korean bank account and a phone number. I would sign up for meetup apps. So there's like a meetup app called 소모임. 소모임, it like means small meeting. 소모임. And you can also find meetups on Kakao. They have like open groups. You can find meetups on Naver. You can find meetups of any sort of hobby that you're interested in. And try to find meetups of Korean people of a hobby that you enjoy and going there. Or using friends you already meet from school, if there are Korean friends, meeting their friends, hanging out with them after class. You want to be able to be as immersed in Korea culture as you can while you're here. Get the most out of it. That's what I would say. Do you have any advice for getting others to speak to you in Korean? Just keep speaking in Korean. And if they don't let up, then just leave. Like, just, end the conversation politely. Like, okay, 그럼 가야 돼요. Okay. Yeah, just keep speaking in Korean. Because there are some Korean people that will do that. And there are many reasons for it, but the main reason is they just want to practice their English. So, which is fine, but like, you're not trying to be an English teacher, you're in Korea, you're trying to practice your Korean. So if you meet someone who just won't let up, after a few lines they keep speaking in English, then yeah, just politely end the conversation in Korean and just find someone else. I will say though, good news is that gets better. I rarely have that happen to me. Very rare. Because the more Korean it's clear that you speak, they're going to understand, oh, this is just someone who lives in Korea. They're not going to see you as like a tourist. If they hear you start speaking like you speak really fast or you speak a lot, they're just going to assume, oh, this person lives in Korea. They already speak Korean, and they're not even going to bother trying to speak to you in English unless they really want to practice their English and they're really confident in their English. So sometimes I'll have that. Like someone will speak in English and I'll reply in Korean, and then they'll keep speaking in English. Like that, they're just really trying to show off their English. Or it's someone who was just born and raised in the US or a foreign country. I met some people actually yesterday. I went to a convention yesterday and I met someone who said they were born in the Philippines and grew up there because they were speaking to me in English and I spoke Korean and they replied in English. And it was just, they were Korean, but they were born and raised in the Philippines. So English was like almost their native language. So to that person, I think it was better to speak to them in English because they seem more comfortable in English. But other than those situations, yeah. Someone recommended joining a university club. That's a great suggestion. Make friends. Even if your friends are not Korean, try to make friends that do not speak English natively, because you're in Korea to experience Korea and learn Korean. Like, this is your best shot at learning Korean. No shade at all of the amazing, I was like stuttering while amazing. No, there are some really cool non-Koreans I've met, okay. No shade at all the cool people who are in Korea, but you're not here in Korea to learn English or meet American friends. You're here in Korea to experience something you can't experience back at home. Now, if you also happen to make English-speaking friends on the side, cool, but that shouldn't be your priority. That can happen naturally without even trying. That's gonna happen. I guarantee you, you're gonna walk away from Korea with like 3 or 4 friends that speak English. Even if you never try to do it, it's gonna happen. You can't stop it. But that's not your goal, right? They sometimes panic. I ordered fully in Korean and the 사장님 pauses thinking I went for his phone to answer with Papago. Yeah, sometimes that's what happens. Mary asked the question, can't you just tell him you'd prefer to speak in Korean? You can, it's direct, but then you have to think about what's going to happen to the conversation when you tell them that you don't want to actually speak to them. You don't want to let them practice their English. Then they might think, why am I talking to you? Which is true. They only wanted to practice their English, right? Which will, therefore, end the conversation if there's someone who's not really persistent. So you'll get what you want either way. But if you don't want to hurt their feelings, if you want to have more of a natural end of the conversation, you can just say, you know, I gotta go, I'm sorry. But yeah, if they were only trying to practice their English, that will kill the conversation. If you're trying to make a friend, well, that's not the kind of friend you're looking for anyway. So, win-win. I try to make friends in Korea still. I'm always looking for new Korean friends. And if I meet someone that I feel like is doing that, I also just stop replying. Like, I'll reply really slow, and then, you know, I'll still reply in Korean, and they don't want to reply in Korean. I'm like, okay, well, you know, all right, I'm getting busy lately, that sort of thing. If you start speaking Dutch, they'll switch back to Korean. Hey, Billy, are there any places in Seoul where I can buy oats? Oats, yes, I see oats at the supermarket. You won't have a problem with it. Worst comes to worst, you can buy them online. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've seen them at the supermarket. If you don't find them though, just check another market. But you should be able to find them at like any major supermarket. However, let me think. If you're looking for like, you know, actually I think I've seen Quaker oats as well. Like the what do you call it? The steel cut oats as well as the like whole oats. I think I've seen both. It's just not as common. Koreans typically eat for breakfast. They'll just have like something really simple. Like they might just have coffee or like, you know, rice with some sides, something like that for breakfast. They don't have the American or European style breakfast where we'll have like, you know, eggs and toast and sausage and orange juice or anything like that. That's not really a thing, which is one of the reasons why there are not many restaurants or almost no restaurants open before like 11 o'clock in Korea. In fact, if you want to find a restaurant if you want to find food before like 11 o'clock in Korea and you don't want to go to a convenience store or a cafe, your best bet is going to be something like a soup restaurant, like 국밥. So like haejanguk. That's like the Korean hangover soup. They have it after they drank a lot the last day. But it's pretty good. I don't drink much, if ever. Anyone who knows me knows I, if ever, drink. But the soup itself is pretty good. And those restaurants are usually open really early or even 24/7. So you can get soup in Korea, or you can go... Oh yeah, fast food chains. Like some fast food chains will open a little earlier sometimes, like maybe 10, or like McDonald's has breakfast, so they might be open from like 6 or something like that. But other than that, there isn't really breakfast in Korea. You just wait until lunchtime. I don't know if it's because you're live. Why did I read that as alive? I'm playing this sorting game, Lost But Found. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna drink the rest of my barley tea and then end the stream as I walk back to the subway station. Any other questions? When I got this, it was like ice cold, and now it's like warm. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna eat lunch. I would take you guys to go eat lunch with me, but I don't know what to eat, and I don't know what's around this area. And that's not a big problem normally, but because I'm streaming, I can't turn off my stream to check. I can't check on this phone. Now I could just wander into any restaurant and eat, but this area is like a business district. It's not like it has some restaurants, but it's not too many. It's more just like people come here for work or apartments are here. That's pretty much it. Okay, in the Netherlands, most people will just have a sandwich or cereal. Okay. If you like coffee, pastry, you'll be happy. Yeah, if you're happy with like cafes, you'll be good. Have you ever been in Uzbek restaurants? No, I have not. I've never been to. I don't know what kind of food that is. Is there anything that I would recognize, or a type of food? Sorry, this I use a little stabilizer thing, and it sometimes just wanders up into the air. Should finally get some sleep. Oh no! Don't do this to yourself. Okay, where is the? Okay, is that where I came from? I think that's where I came from, which means. Yeah, I think that's where I came from, which means if I walk, which way do I get to the station? I guess I actually totally forgot which way I came from. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I feel like if I just start walking with everyone to the subway station, I'm never gonna hit the subway station. So I'm gonna sit down here and end the stream, and then I'm gonna use my phone to find out where the heck I am. I know where I am because I was at this park. This is where I started, but I blanked out all of the information about how I got here. I can't remember which direction I walked from. I think I just walked straight. Actually, you know what? I think I just walked straight. Okay, so here's the question. Do I just guess and walk back straight the way I think I came from? And possibly get lost? No, actually, you know what? I can't remember. Maybe I came from the other side. Okay, no, I'm gonna be safe about this. I'm gonna end the stream. Oh, hey, Kai! Kai! I was too busy watching a movie. Well, it's okay. We had heavy rain. I was hiding from the rain for about half of the stream. Is there any places in Korea you suggest staying away from? Most of the tourist places. If you see a tourist guide recommending like, go to this market, go to this street, probably not for the most part, including videos recommending most places. I wouldn't say just blanket, don't go to any of them, but I would say research them before you go, because there's a lot of old information out there about places that you want to visit in Korea. Trendy places change like every 3 years. So if someone recommends, like if I recommend a place, I'll use myself as an example. I won't trash anyone else. I'll trash myself. If I recommend a place that I say, oh, this place is awesome, you got to check it out, and that video is more than 3 years old for a location, you might want to double check it. So like a good example is Myeongdong. Myeongdong is like the famous example. That used to be like the place 20 years ago, 15 years ago. That was the place for tourism to visit, because that's where you get all the cool street food, all the great shopping, all the good restaurants. Like nowadays, I would only recommend Myeongdong if you're trying to look for, I mean, it's not a bad place, But I would only recommend it if you're looking for getting all your cosmetics in one spot. Like you only have one day and you just want to get your Korean cosmetics. You don't know what you want. You just want to get the Korean cosmetics, right? Go to Myeongdong because they'll show you like, oh, here's the cool item. Here's you can get 10 for $1. You know, stuff like that. Other than that, it has like the worst street food in all of Korea, and it's really crowded. It doesn't have that many good restaurants anymore. Anyway, so you want to check. I currently would say don't bother with Gwangjang Market. Don't bother with Insadong unless you're trying to buy like traditional souvenirs, like old style souvenirs, or you want tea houses. Those are cool. Or yeah, like old stuff like that. Insadong's okay for that. Like you want some artwork or some old Korean souvenirs. Then yeah. I also don't bother going to the Ensol Tower inside. I love Ensol Tower. I go there all the time. Namsan Tower, as they used to call it. But I don't go inside the building. You don't need to. It's not worth it. It's really expensive to go up to the top. The locks are also really expensive, and they just get rusty and thrown off anyway. But the area is pretty if you want a good view of Seoul. So that kind of stuff. I would just be careful and research again anything that's over a few years old for advice. You're gonna send a PayPal donation. You have to tell me. Hold on. Otherwise, I won't be able to check it. You can just tell me how much you're sending because it might not, if it doesn't pop up on my phone within a minute. Is Korean skincare really that good? Yes. I'm not going to hype it up. Yes. Because, I'll tell you why. Instead of ending this live stream like I promised all of you, I'll tell you why Korean cosmetics are still good. Because they keep innovating. They keep making new stuff. Every year I come here, there's something cool. I'll show you. I'll show you why I love Korean. Oops, I was shaking my thing. I'll show you. I'm not angry. I'm just, okay, let's see. Every year there's new stuff. Okay, so Daiso recently, as of like a year ago or 2 years ago, started carrying a lot, I mean, not a couple years ago. Yeah, at least 2. Started carrying a lot of cosmetic products that normally would only be sold at more expensive stores, and they have cheaper versions of it. So that's one cool thing. You can get like dirt cheap, like makeup brushes, acne patches, face masks, like good, and facial paper, like all these cool things that you normally would have to pay a little bit more. Daiso will have a cheaper version, like face powder. In fact, I'm even using Daiso, actually not the Daiso, but I'm even using Korean face powder right now, which is why my face is not covered in sweat. It's a little bit like light because it's so humid and it was raining, but my face is not all sweaty, right? Yeah? Okay. Daiso has this is kind of cosmetic, but you can get these cool sunblocks. They're tiny. I just carry one in my bag because it's so small. It goes on completely clear, has no residue. In fact, today when I arrived, I realized I didn't put on any sunblock, so I just really quick went, done. This is not skincare, but these are, oh my god, these are the cutest 물 tissue, wet wipes I've ever seen. This is a wet wipe bag. It is like a stick of butter. It's so cute. So I carry this around. This is also a Daiso thing. A pack of tissues. Like, who doesn't want a pack of like, I think it's like 10. Yeah, it's like 10 tissues. It is. Oh yeah, I'm right, 10. So, like, this sort of stuff, you can't get this in the US. No, they're not going to sell this. This is the coolest thing I found in Korea this year. Guess what's inside of this? I'll give you like 5 seconds. You know how you go to a restaurant and you want to eat, but you don't want to get your hands messy because you don't want to have to, like, because you're going to be leaving and going somewhere else and walking around all day. This is a pair of gloves, plastic gloves in here. Yeah. The only reason I have this stuff is because it's stuff I carry around with me all the time now. Let's see. I have some other stuff, but nothing really impressive here. I don't carry around cosmetics with me, so I wish I can show you. But yeah, Korea has so many cool cosmetic stuff. Like literally everything you need and everything you never even heard about, but you're like, oh, I wish I had that. Okay, one example is there are makeup stickers you can buy. You can buy these in the US too, I think. but makeup stickers you put on in acne. So if you have like an acne, normally what do you do with it, right? Usually you pop it and you wash it and you put a Band-Aid or some patch over it, right? No, 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 no. That's like caveman. That's primitive. No, no. You got to do it the Korean way. You get the little stickers that you put over your pimple. They have ones that you put on before it pops and one that you put on after it pops. So if you accidentally pop it, there's one you can put on to kind of help repair it. They work really good. Anytime I have like a pimple that's coming up, it's like it's not out yet, but I know it's gonna be out like the next day. Put that sticker on, the next day it's gone. It drinks it. I mean, it doesn't. It like has some kind of like ointment which absorbs it and helps your body kill it. And then they have a new one they just released recently, which is the same thing, but it has spikes inside of it, like little tiny plastic spikes. So you know how you might have an acne that just doesn't want to come up, right? It's just been there for like two days, 3 days. And you're like, when is this thing gonna come up? I might as well just pop it. You don't want to do that. You put the little thing with spikes and it's the same thing, but it pokes into it and helps it come out and then it cleans it up. So you can just put that on before bed, go to sleep. You wake up in the morning, your pimple's gone. Dude, Korea's living in the future. And you can buy these in the States too. I know you can get them on Amazon, you can get them imported. But in Korea, that thing I described, a bag of them with like 30 is literally $2. It's like 3,000won for a whole pack. And the little stickers that I told you, those are 1,000won. 1,000won, that's like 80 cents. That's why I think Korea is cool, because you can get all this stuff if you know what to look for. You can find it on Amazon. It'll be like $10 for a pack. No. You don't need a pack. You don't need like 1,000 of them. You need like 20, right? See what else? Face masks. They have like 100 kinds of face masks. So you want like the ones that are just flat, that are really cheap. You can get 10 of them for $1, right? But they also have like different kinds. They have like ones that are extra wet that'll like make your face moisturize. They have some that'll make your face just relax. They have like different fragrances in them. They have like charcoal ones that'll like kind of help absorb like dirt in your skin more. They have some of them that are like 3D shaped that will match to your face so you can wear them for longer instead of them kind of just drying and falling off. Yeah, everything. I mean, this is coming from a guy. I barely use any like skincare stuff, but yeah. I got some eye cream, like high quality eye cream from Daiso for like also $2, because I use eye cream before I put on makeup for my videos when I'm filming. And you want to put some lotion on your eyelids so that they don't get, swollen from putting on makeup and just from rubbing them. So yeah. Oh, Kai, thank you so much. I didn't see your donation yet because my phone is not doing this, but I believe you. You're someone I'll believe when you say that. Thank you so much, Kai. My town Albuquerque got a Daiso. Okay, so no, Jessica, no. So unfortunately, Daiso does not exist outside of Korea. It's Korean Daiso and Japan Daiso are separate. There's a story to that. I think it was in 2012 or 2012 or 2013 or sometime around there. Daiso is a Japanese company originally. And they opened up branches in Korea and sold their same products in Korea, plus some new products that they were making in Korea using their Korean suppliers. Japan said some offensive things. I think it was the Japanese owners said some offensive things related to Korea. So Korea got mad and broke off and said, we're done. It's not you, it's me. Actually, it's you. And the Korean Daiso has been separate ever since. And now if you go to the Korean Daiso, there is a small section for Japanese Daiso products in the back that they'll have some like Japan exclusive items, but not many. It'll be like one little section. All of the stuff in Daiso in Korea is Korean exclusive. And that's not the one you get in the US. The US is the Japan branch, which is overpriced and very limited. Like it's not even the same as a subway station Daiso in Japan, which are way bigger. It's like really limited and really overpriced in my opinion. It's cool if there's something you want from Daiso. I'm not dissing the stuff they have it's cool, but it's just really expensive. You're buying the same dollar store stuff, but you're paying like $5 for it. So yeah, unfortunately the Korean stuff you have to go to Korea to get, or order it from Korea, something like that. Yeah, anyway, I don't know why we're talking about cosmetics anymore, but I would say for the nice thing I also like about Korean cosmetic products is they have a lot of stuff that's like portable and disposable. So like they make a lot of stuff really small, which is useful because you can buy big options too if you want to go to the like major stores and buy like a large thing of something. But it's cool to have something that's portable because a lot of like the makeup situations are like emergency makeup situations. Like you can have all the stuff at your house, whatever, you can spend 30 minutes doing your makeup. But when you're out and about and like say you get, you know, something stuck on your face and you have to wash it off, you have to redo your makeup really quick, you can't carry all that stuff around with you. But Korea though, you can buy like little kits of like everything you can imagine. Not related to makeup, but I know in the US we have Tide sticks, which are cool, but Korea has something even better. I don't know if I can find it. Oh, here it is. It's a laundry detergent stick. So it's really just a stick. See if I can show you. A stick of laundry detergent that rolls out. You can turn this and it gets longer. It's all in here. And if you get a stain on your clothes, you just get it wet. You rub this on it. It's literally like you would, you know, hand wash your clothes, and then rinse it off, and the stain's gone, which is super useful for anyone who eats spicy food or red food in Korea. So yeah, there's just so many cool things you're gonna find in Korea that you didn't even know you needed. Every time my wife and I go to Daiso, we never walk out without spending like at least $30. Never. Like we always go. It's the funniest thing. We know this between each other. We'll go to Daiso like, oh, I'm gonna buy. Say we have like, I want to buy a 장바구니. I want to buy like a what's that? A shopping bag. Like I went to buy a shopping bag, which should cost 1,000 won. So like, you know, 80 cents. I'm going to buy a shopping bag. We walk out with like $100 of stuff. Every time we walk in, like we're like, oh, we don't need a bag, and we always end up we're holding stuff, and then I end up getting like a cart. And I'm just dragging this cart everywhere, and we end up filling it up. And then the next time we go, we're like, oh, we already bought a lot last time. We'll be okay this time. No, exact same thing or worse the next time. So yeah, we always find stuff that we need. Like it's not buying garbage. It's like, I legitimately need this. You can't convince me otherwise. It doesn't just sit on a shelf. It's all getting used. Okay. Yeah, bring all the cash and bring extra suitcases. So I did that this time. You bring a suitcase inside of a suitcase. Because when you come to Korea, you want to pack as light as you can. Really, as light as you can. If your allotment is 2 large size suitcases, if you're okay with it, bring both. Even if you don't fill them, because the coolest thing is, okay, nothing's more annoying than you go to Korea and you see this thing that you want. You want a piece of artwork, but it's too big. Even if it's not too expensive, it's just too big. Like maybe you want one of those giant Korean masks. It's too big, right? Bring your suitcase. Bring a suitcase inside of the suitcase if you can't bring a second suitcase. And at the very least, buy one of those suitcases that rolls up, like the extra handbags, you know, those little carry-on bags. They roll up really small, and put like 1 or 2 of those in your suitcase. Or buy it when you're in Korea. They sell them here. They sell them at Daiso. They have one for 5,000원 that's like really nice and zips up really small, but can get like a full-size carry-on for a bag, a light bag. But yeah, bring some extra stuff, because one thing is like, there's so many things you can buy in Korea. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just so many little things you can buy in Korea that you don't want to bring a ton of stuff when you come to Korea. You're always going to be filling up your suitcase when you go back. Okay, anyway, that's enough for today. I got to get lunch. I'm really hungry. I got $60 here on YouTube, an extra $10 on Gmail from my email, thanks to a PayPal donation from Kai. So thank you everyone for coming today and talking with me. This has been fun. As well as hello to anyone who's watching this after it's ended. Hey Ashley, thank you. I don't have any idea how much you sent me. Can anyone convert that for me? But I don't know how much an SGD currency is. But that will go toward my lunch. Oh, I think that's like $10. I just saw the YouTube counter go up. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get a really nice lunch today. Maybe I should get some kalbi. I'll have to think about it. I don't know. Sweet, thank you. All right, take care, everyone. I'm gonna now try to to find where I came from. And then I'll go back to where I came from, the US. And I'll see you guys again back in the US. Live classes again. We'll start on August 4th, I think, Sunday. Take care, and I will see you again. Kram? Hamid Tova!